welcome back to Sleeve M. If you're new to my channel, I had the vertical gastric sleeve procedure on January 9th, and I'm officially over 2 months out now, and I'm feeling great. But one of the big things I've been really trying to push back into my life after week 6 is exercise. I know I mentioned in a prior video that I'm able to exercise, and I kind of went over some of the exercises that I was hoping to incorporate back into my lifestyle. Prior to the procedure, I did like to take my dog Guinness on a walk every morning before work, and we usually did about 20 to 30 minutes. And then I did exercise once a week at a belly dance class, and then I usually practice another time at the end of the week. So now that I had the vertical gastric sleeve procedure, I really want to start pushing myself a little bit more. I would not consider myself a gym person, and I think it's okay to say that. I do not enjoy going to a gym. I always kind of get a little bit flustered, and I know a lot of people have told me the more often you go, the better it would be. But I used to work at a wellness center when I was in high school and was in the gym life and did not enjoy it then. So my goal with this is to figure out a way where I can get an adequate exercise without going to the gym, which may be a little bit, some people may not like to hear, but my goal is to do what I feel inside is the best for me, and I just don't think going to a gym is probably a top priority. I really enjoy the walks every morning that I have with my dog Guinness. I think that now that I've had the procedure, we're trying to go a little bit quicker. And then on days where I don't have to work, we go on twice as long of a walk, and really it's been a joy. I mean, if I were to look at little Guinness and say, Guinness, we can't go on a walk today, his heart would be broken. And in fact, when I was recovering for those 6 weeks, he would sit by the door and cry because he wanted to go on a walk so bad. So that has been one thing that's been great to have back in my life, and it's been great that we've been able to go on longer walks. I feel that on the days I have off, really trying to push myself and trying to go further. I live in Colorado, and so the mountains are in my backyard, and there's plenty of outdoor activity that I feel like it's just as good as the gym. Going on hikes, things like that, as the weather starts to get better, is definitely going to be at the top of our list. And I know that, like, Guinness loves it. And seeing that face, seeing that accountability from him really pushes to make sure that I continue and stick with it. Right after the procedure on January 26th, so just a few weeks afterwards, I did go to a place called Phoenix Fitness. It is a guy that was recommended by my surgeon who specializes in bariatric weight loss, and he works a lot of times with people that have gone through the sleeve procedure or the bypass or the lap band and makes a fitness plan that works for them. He also has an in-body scan there that he does, and that is free for everybody that's had the surgery through Dr. Schneider's office. So I, of course, went and had mine done, and I just kind of want to go over the results with you. One thing I really liked about the scan is I feel like in a year or two, I'm going to want to do this again to kind of see where I'm at. The main concerns that he had were that I would lose a lot of muscle. So what the scan told me is the day I weighed in, I weighed 341.3 pounds. Of that 341.3 pounds, I was 192.5 pounds of just sheer body fat. And my BMI that day was 53.4, which I'm really trying to get down to around 30. And then it also looks at my muscles. So in my arms, my right arm has 8.42 pounds of muscle, and then my left has 8.36, and that puts me at 114 percentile of muscle in arms. In my trunk, I have 66.8 pounds. My right leg is 20.7 pounds, and my left leg, I have 20.92 pounds of lean muscle mass. But when doing this, one of the big things that I thought was really interesting is when we look at visceral fat that surrounds the organs and things like that. I'm at a level 20, which is incredibly high and scary. He said that this takes a long time to get low. The other thing that was on here that I was interested in is in the basal metabolic rate. So he said if I were to do nothing, just sit there all day and breathe and let my normal cells do function, I'm at 1,828 calories it would take to keep my body going. That's the amount of energy I burn without doing any exercise, doing nothing. So that would be, so I found that to be rather interesting because I'm definitely eating way less than 1,800 calories daily. And I guess overall that this did confirm that my body is a large percent body fat and not as much of that lean muscle that I like. He said when trying to kind of put your regimen together to really start with strength training. One thing that Daniel and me have done is I have little 5-pound weights that I've been lifting and just Pinteresting different exercises to do and trying to do arms one day, abs another, legs, and then just kind of go through those. I notice while I'm waiting at work, when I'm waiting for a patient or whatnot at work, it's easy to do some calf raises to really, make sure I'm working out, or so that I can always be working on a muscle. The next thing that I really have been pushing is belly dancing. I'm at a much higher level than when I first started, and the dance that we're doing right now is very fast and very cardiovascular. But I'm also really far behind for being gone for 6 weeks due to the surgery. So I have a lot of catching up to do, which has really pushed me at home to belly dance, just nonstop. People may think that it's a little bit crazy that I belly dance, being as overweight as I am, but I've never really done any dance programs before. I was in ballet for a year when I was like 5 or 6 or something. And I just never was anything I truly enjoyed. The way I got into belly dancing is just kind of ironic. Daniel wanted to do, we call it Denver Cruisers here, which is where you ride your bike to a bar and then you guys all ride together to a secret location, and then it's supposed to like party the night away. Well, they had this in one of the suburbs, Arvada, and Arvada Cruisers. And one of his good friends lives in Arvada, and we decided that we were just gonna go do this Arvada Cruisers, but it was like, I don't know, it was like over 100 degrees, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be horrible. I don't know my way around Arvada, and it's gonna be so hot, and I was kind of complaining like, are we really gonna do this? It's gonna be so hot. And his friend's wife said, well, the first class of belly dance is free and it's indoors. So I went to the first class, and he continued to do the Arvada Cruisers. I continued to belly dance. And now 5 years later, here I am still belly dancing. But I did notice prior to my surgery that I was getting into a level where it was more difficult for me to keep up with everybody. I would get winded, would be breathing heavy, and it was a lot of work to be shaking it like a belly dancer does. So having this procedure and just dropping the weight I already have has really helped, but really practicing belly dancing has become a big part of what I do at home. And I love belly dancing because I feel like it really tones your entire body. It tones your core because you pull everything in, your legs, a lot of the movements come from your legs, and then who could forget the snake arms that you do. So in fact, when I had my in-body scan and he told me that I have more muscle in my arms than the average person does, I said it's probably due to all those snake arms I do. So that has been an excellent exercise activity for me. There is a YouTuber, Layla Isaac, that does them on YouTube, and I've really enjoyed watching her videos. She has such a positive attitude and just a fun way of belly dancing. She doesn't do, there's different types of belly dancing. She kind of does the Egyptian cabaret style, and I really like that. If you're looking for something a little bit more informative, there is a belly dance website that you can do. It's $25 a month, and it's Dectura.com online, and I'll put the link down below. But that has been really good. That is Rachel Bryce. She's one of the big famous belly dancers. It is her website, and she has different belly dancers to bring different styles. There's also Pilates, there's yoga, and a lot of information about how to start. And it has beginner stuff, and then you can work up to the more intermediate advanced. I would consider myself more intermediate. In regards to other YouTube channels that I really enjoy, there's one called Popsugar Fitness, and this is really great because, again, it's free. It's a YouTube video. You just go online, but there are a lot of cardiovascular, and they also put a lot of different dance styles into their videos, and it's really fun when they come out with a new one. It's not as often as I would like, but when they do, it's really, it's been a lot of fun to do. The next thing that I'm really looking to get started into this week is my friend Shanti, who also is in the belly dance class with me on Monday. She has a yoga class that she does on every Tuesday night. It's only $10. It's very inexpensive, and she just has that perfect voice. But one thing I've learned about yoga is that you kind of have to have a teacher that really fits your style. I got started in yoga when I was in college and took it as just my fitness. You had to, for a liberal arts degree, you had to have one gym class. And I chose yoga, and I really enjoyed my instructor. And then I went to a couple YMCA classes, and it wasn't for me. And one thing I like about the teacher that I have is, instead of making it more about fitness, it's more about becoming who you are inside your body. And the way she got into it, she feels that it saved her life. She was going through some issues, and yoga has turned everything around for her. So she looks at it as this full mind and body thing. And that brings me to another point, is part of my hate of going to the gym is I just don't really like the word exercise. And I feel like when I do these YouTube videos, it's not so much exercise as something fun to get up and do. Belly dancing has become not only a good form of fitness, I don't like to call it exercise, but it's really got me close with a group of girls. We plan our costumes together. You know, when I was going through the procedure, I would get messages from them asking how I was doing. And so all in all, just completely supportive. And so I like the group style classes, and for the reason that you get to know the people in your class, and you build that friendship. And when you're not there, they're wondering where you're at. Whereas in a gym, you know, you just go and nobody really cares if you come or not. So with that being said, one thing that we are looking at to do in the future is they did build a new rec center close to us. And I know I said I didn't like gyms, and I know rec center is a gym, but they have a pool in it. And growing up, I was in the swim team, and I love to swim. And so we are looking at getting punch cards there so we could go on the weekends, and I could swim some laps and kind of get back into that. So those are the main things that I'm doing. I do think as a goal for the future is really to put more strength training into my regimen. So I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I hope that some of my fitness ideas help you. Some of those YouTube channels, I'll make sure to link down below. And I would say if you are not a gym person, don't be afraid. There's plenty of things that you can do outside the gym. You just kind of have to be a little bit more creative. And I hope that in the future, I can kind of show you some of the exercises I do. And then also dance really, I think, is a really, really great thing for somebody that went through bariatric surgery. A lot of us who have gone through this, from the people I talk to, part of the reason we did this is because we didn't quite feel comfortable in our body. And dance is a way of, I don't know how to explain it, but it has a way of making you come into your body and just to be more comfortable there because of the way the movements and stuff like that. So I understand if belly dancing might not be your jam. It's my jam and I love it. But there are so many different types of dance forms out there, and I really feel like they're fun and they get you going, and they really teach you about who your body is and how to work your body. So I would say if you have not tried a form of dance fitness, I would just highly recommend it. So I will see you guys next week. And if you're new, of course, please subscribe. And till then.